Hi everyone, good morning. It's been a while. I have been thinking about kind of just revisiting our video that we posted about our son Elias. And I kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight about how a woman or a mother feels. Chances are that your husband or the father is not feeling exactly the same way that you are. Us women are more emotional, and this is our baby. We carried them for X amount of time, and we actually we're connected with them, right? Not to say that the fathers aren't. They have their connection too, but I'm gonna speak on my behalf the way I felt about stuff. um, you know I started having contractions on a Thursday, and my husband kind of just made it like he just kind of was like, no, they're gonna send us back home again, they're gonna send us back home again. My pregnancy was never normal. I bled throughout my whole pregnancy. So I was in and out of the hospital. As a mother, I was scared. I just wanted to make sure that my baby was okay. I just wanted to hear the heartbeat. And every time they did say that Elias was good. So it was just one of those days on that Thursday that my husband's like, you want to go to the hospital again? And I'm just like, I'm just not feeling good. Something's just wrong. I'm not feeling good. At that point, I got out of work and I called him and I was like, I'm still just not feeling good. Like I'm gonna go to the hospital. He got upset, and I tried to listen to him, and I was like, okay, well, at least find me my belt so I can have some support in my belly, because I felt my belly was really low. Not knowing that was a sign. It was my first pregnancy. I have no clue. I didn't know what I was looking at. And so I get home, and he said that he looked, and but sometimes he says that he looks and then he doesn't look, and I end up finding it exactly where I told him to look. So it was just kind of one of those times. And I ended up finding it. By that time, the contractions got even worse. He still was kind of arguing with me about it. So I had to call my mom and my brother. They're the ones that took me to the emergency room. That's when they did start putting the monitors on me, and sure enough, I was having contractions. I remember now it's a Sunday, and my gynecologist said, you know what, your baby's coming. I even after the medication that they gave me to try to stop the contractions, it didn't stop. They had started me on steroids. They started me on just medications that were going to help my son out. So let's go back to Friday. So Friday, she did say, you know what, the contractions are not going away. It's time to start thinking about your son. And I said, you do whatever you gotta do. I said, just save my baby. I said, just save my baby. I don't care. Just do what you gotta do. And then I had a really bad migraine. So she said, so the medication that I'm going to be pumping in you is going to probably make your migraine worse, because the medication's going to, get your blood flow going. And I said, that's fine. That's fine. And I remember I just got into prayer. And Sunday, when they told me finally, like, he's going to come. And they were switching me into different rooms, and I remember just kind of just staying stuck, like, Lord, my son is in your hands. And I remember just kind of thinking, whatever happens, just please guide my son, guide him to you and show him the light. And and I said, God, Lord, take me, do whatever you gotta do to save my son, whether I die and you save him, do whatever you need to do. And then so when I had him, I guess his little cry was like, it wasn't loud. And I remember when I had him, I was just like, is he okay? Is he okay? And I like that moment of having him, it wasn't like a happy moment, right? You know, it wasn't like I felt bad for my husband because my husband wanted to like kiss me, like, oh, we have a baby. And I was just like, oh my God, is my baby okay? I was totally not focused on that kiss. You know, I really was just like, how's my baby? What's my baby doing? What is he crying? What's going on? The nurse finally, she's seen that, you know, she's seen that I was so worried, and she's like, Karina, he's okay. He's crying. And I just started crying, and I was like, oh my God, thank God. You know, so they rushed him into the NICU, and they did what they had to do. You know, that still wasn't over. But I remember, you know, the hardest part about the NICU life was the fact that, you know, we can't rub our babies. You know, we can't comfort them the way we would want to, or the way that we feel is best, right? We really had to listen to the doctors and the nurses, and we couldn't just caress them. We had to just kind of put our hands on them just for that comfort. And I remember the first 2 weeks that I couldn't hold my baby. I remember that that I could hear him, like, I could see that he was not comfortable. I can see that he was in pain. And I remember him, you know, just squeaking, crying, and like I couldn't hold my baby. You know, I think that was like the hardest part about the NICU, is the fact that, you know, when your baby goes back on the ventilator, you can't hold them. And then, so, you know, as a mother, you feel when something's wrong, you feel it, and just not being able to hold your baby when he's suffering, that was like so hard. You know, and these stuff, like, I would try to talk to my husband about, and he wouldn't understand. He would really just feel like, just by seeing him, you know, that we should be okay. And it's like, no, no, I don't think so. I want to hold my baby. I want to be able to comfort him, and him being on the ventilator and in the incubator, it was not our way, right? And we had to do whatever was best for my son. And but anyways, I want to keep this short, and I just kind of want to let you women know that it's normal to feel whatever you're feeling, and then your spouse doesn't understand. It's different. It's very different. I'm sorry I got emotional. It's been a year already, but just thinking about it all the time, that's what like really breaks my heart. You know, those two things that I was mainly focused on in this video was just the hardest part of the NICU. But I hope this helps you guys, and I don't want you to feel like you're not normal because you're feeling a certain way. No, us mothers feel everything. Thank you so much for listening.